Hi, I'm Anne Bonaparte, CEO of Appthority, and I'm sitting here with my good friend, Ed Amoroso. He's the former Chief Security Officer of AT&T and the current CEO of TAG Cyber. What's interesting is, at least with my customers, I'd be interested in your perspective. Many of them, they each have existing networks, existing policy frameworks. They're in business. They've been in business for a while. They've got very sophisticated systems. And they really range on how they want to take this view of mobile risk into their decision-making frameworks. And so some want it, we of course have our own portal and it's all beautiful and we work hard on that. Others want to really pull the intelligence into a broader business context, whether that's with a SIM or with some of their other compliance engines. I don't know how you think about that. Is it just we all have to be flexible and really have interlocking Lego bricks to make this happen? Because you really do want that 360-degree view of what's going on in your organization with mobile and cloud.
Welcome to transition, right? When things are changing, then you see what you just said. 5 different teams or customers of yours,
right.
5 different approaches.
Yes.
That's so totally normal because it's like the blind man and the elephant. You got a lot of different people looking at cloud, device to cloud, per app VPN, enterprise mobility management, all things you guys do.
Right.
And they're all coming at it from different perspectives. Some might have a piece of something that looks to be legacy and okay, but weak over here.
Right.
Others feel strong over here, weak over there, and you guys are in the midst of that transition. So I wouldn't say that that's not pretty predictable. I mean, if you were doing a very conventional thing, if you and I were talking about next generation firewall products or something, a little more predictable. Right? You'd have a very common experience with just about every customer. Mobility, cloud, and virtual are the 3 places where it's not all over the map. That's overplaying. There are a set of very clear capabilities people want, but you're going to have different perspectives and probably be that way for a few more years. It'll converge. Yeah. You guys will help converge it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I really believe this way. Our customers help us build better and better products, and we architected to be very flexible, so we didn't know what the answer would be, and that's turned out to serve us well because we want to be able to serve a broad range of customers, and they do want to implement it in different ways. What's interesting is we've been working in the mobile threat area, and particularly in the app, really understanding apps at a very deep level so we can enable enterprises to take a proactive stance once they have the visibility to put in the policies they want to protect themselves. But sometimes I'm very interested in how we get CISOs' attention, because sometimes it feels like CISOs are sort of chasing the ambulance. Okay, there was a breach. Now everybody's turning left. I remember a couple years it was ransomware. Then everybody ran to ransomware, and so it is. I'm glad you're coaching about what's around the corner. We all need to be sort of that superhero that can see around the corner, because there's a lot of vendors saying pick me, and so it's really how do we provide the insights so that CISOs can make thoughtful suggestions. Just blaring it louder doesn't really help.
Vendors are technology firms that have very high integrity leadership, people who are honest and understand why they do this. It's not to make money, but it's to protect our world.
Right.
And that's the first thing. The second is companies that have really good scientific basis for what they're doing. Like the code is right, the concept is right, the software is right, the whole idea is right. That's a second. And then the third is being easy to do business with. When you have those 3 elements, it's can't miss. When companies get it right, the CISO teams, it's not just the CISO,
right,
of
course, right.
But the team will notice, because not every company has those 3, equation components. They don't.
Right.
Integrity you usually like to assume, but you never know. But I think the one that perhaps a lot of companies miss is the last one, like being easy to do business with. I'll give you an example. I can't remember a single vendor ever coming to visit me with the paperwork done, saying if you'd like to buy, just sign here, and putting an X and saying here's a pen. Isn't that funny?
It is
because there
fun.
were times when I might have signed.
I've got one right here.
There were times when I was excited and said, I love this. What do I do? And then usually they'll go, Well, we'll go get the paperwork done, and a month later, when the paperwork does show, maybe I got a budget cut, or maybe there's a freeze. And
Right.
Isn't that funny?
That is funny.
I never had anybody put a contract in front of me once.
Right. Wow. Well, I really love talking with you and meeting someone who is as mission focused as I am, but from the side where you've had this incredible operating history, and I think we're fighting the good fight, and unfortunately we're going to have to keep fighting it because bad guys smell money and they chase it. So we're going to really continue to pay attention to protecting enterprises from the app threats that are coming in, often unintentionally, sometimes maliciously, but either way, if it opens your cyber barn door, you got a problem. So I'm excited about moving forward.
Well, what a pleasure speaking with you.
Thanks so much.